Hello and welcome to all. Welcome to lesson 404 in our continuing series for beginner harmonium players and Hindustani vocal learners. If you recall from lessons 401, 402 and 403, these here are the intervals for Thaat Kafi and Thaat Bhairavi. And we said that Thaat Bilawal, which is equivalent to the Western major scale, has an interval formula of 1, 1, a half, 1, 1, 1, a half. If we took that and we removed the first one here and we put it at the back of it, then we would end up with this, which is Thaat Kafi. And if we took Thaat Kafi and we took that one again from the front and put it at the end, then we end up with this here, which is Thaat Bhairavi. Now I've taken that, I've duplicated that line below, and now we have this. So the question is, if we took the half there and removed it and put it at the end, so this is what we will end up with. What do we call this now? We can go to the next slide, and this is what we have. It is in fact Thaat Kalyan, and it's sometimes called Yaman or Yaman Kalyan, and this is in fact what we have. If we compare that interval formula to our Bilawal, if you recall very early on I said that everything is built upon the major scale or Thaat Bilawal. So this is Thaat Bilawal, and we have again Sa, Pa, Sa in red. They do not change. They are called Shuddh or pure notes. Now let's compare that with Thaat Kalyan. We have, of course, Sa, then from Sa to Re is the same, Re to Ga. Now Ga, Ma, we have half in Bilawal, a half note, but here we have a full note. So this is what happens. From Sa to Ma, we have 2.5 notes. Here from Sa to Ma, we have 3 notes. So Ma is in fact sharpened. In other words, it's a half note higher, and that is called Tivra Ma or sharpened Ma. So we have from Ma to Pa, we have a half note in this case. Here it's a full note, but when we look at the difference between Sa and Pa, the interval between Sa and Pa, it's 3.5, and here it's also 3.5. So that's fine. And then everything else remains the same. So in fact, Thaat Kalyan or Yaman Kalyan, the only difference between that and Bilawal would be Ma is sharpened and it becomes Tivra Ma. So let's take a look now at that on the harmonium. Before we actually look at that Thaat Kalyan, let's just recap here a little of what we have done in lessons 401, 402 and 403. I said, in 401 we were talking about Thaat Bilawal, and if we do the C scale, it's the same as the major scale. If, however, we started on the second note of the scale, we are starting on the second note of the C scale, but going all the way to D. So this would be, and that would be Thaat Kafi. Also, the third one, which is Thaat Bhairavi, if we remember, we were removing, as we went along, we were removing the intervals from the front and putting them at the back. And what you would see as well for Bhairavi, or what we have seen, is that if you start on the E note and ended on E note using the scale of C, we would have, and that corresponds to Thaat Bhairavi, but only in the scale of E. We said also that if you wanted to do the Thaat, let's say Thaat Kafi, in any scale, then what you do is you think of the scale, beginning on any note. If we thought of doing Thaat Kafi beginning on any particular note, then we go one full note below it and use that scale. And as an example, we said if we want Thaat Kafi starting on the note C, then we would use the scale of B flat, which B flat is, except we begin on the note C. So B flat is one full note below. We begin on the note C, and we would have Thaat Kafi. Similarly, if for Thaat Bhairavi, we go two notes below. So if we wanted Thaat Bhairavi beginning on C sharp, we go two notes below, which would be A, and we use the A scale. The A scale except we are using those notes but beginning on C sharp. Now we are talking about Kalyan or Yaman Kalyan. If we are on the C scale and we began on the F note or the fourth note, so if we can look at that, and if we follow the same pattern, it means that whatever note you want to begin with for Thaat Kalyan, you have to use the scale, the major scale, that is 2.5 notes below. So let's say we wanted to do Thaat Kalyan beginning on D. Okay, so 2.5 notes below would be 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5 is the A scale again. So although I'm doing Thaat Kalyan beginning on D, I am using the scale of A. So A again. Now I'm beginning on the note D, so it's, and as soon as you play that, if you are listening to Indian music for a long while, it screams out at you certain songs. But I digress. Let's stick to what we are doing, the lesson. So the Thaat Kalyan, if I am to recap, Thaat Kalyan, I already gave you the scale interval, which is 1, 1, 1.5, 1, 1.5. And you know, what I just played here 1, 1, 1, a half, 1, 1, a half. And we know that the fourth note, ma, sa, re, ga, ma. Instead of ma, here we have ma tivra, which is higher, half note higher than a normal ma for your scale. And that's all there is to it for the Thaat Kalyan. So until we meet in lesson 405, have a good day and thank you for viewing.